Hi, I'm Tim Isherwood, Operations Manager at RockTech, and today I've got with me Phil Adlam, the Managing Director, and we're just going to be chatting about some video screen options. So Phil, obviously in the emerging market of video screens in churches, what are the reasons for wanting to have a video screen in a church?
There are many advantages, and some of the key one really is just the fact that it's so bright. The real brightness of the screen means that it's very engaging. You can be anywhere in the auditorium and it really grabs your attention, which is fantastic when you're trying to communicate a message.
So is that why you would choose an LED screen over a projector option?
That's one of the big ones, yeah. The other advantages you have are the fact that when you switch it off, the screen goes to black. So with the projector, for example, when you switch it off, the screen is white and you have a big white rectangle there. And then because of that reason, you end up with a much, much better contrast.
Right.
So you can imagine if the blackest you can have is the white of your screen, you're never going to get a real black. But with LED, you do. You have a real black.
Okay.
As well as the fact that the screen's really bright, one of the knock-on side effects of that is that it means you can have your room really bright. And I've been in so many churches where they've had to dim all the lights, cover up all the windows, and they're not doing that because they want to have that. They're doing it because they have to, because it's the only way they can see the projection screen. And one of the fantastic things about LED is you can open all your windows, you can switch all your lights on, and the screen itself is still vivid, powerful, and bright enough to overcome all of that. And that can make such a difference to the atmosphere in church.
So if you can get a real black, how does the screen actually work?
Yeah, what is it made
What
up
is
of?
it made of? Yeah.
Sure. It's just like a normal TV in that you've got lots of individual pixels all on a panel, but instead of them being LCD technologies, it's an actual little LED. So there's a tiny little LED and there's one for each colour, a red, green and blue. And then you've got, a million of them makes up the whole screen. And then as those lights shine on and off, it becomes a whole picture. And as well as being able to do all of those other things, it's modular as well. And by having it modular, it means you can make any shape or size you like. And we recently did a big tour taking our screen in arenas throughout the country. And for that one, we actually were building circular screens. And, so we literally built the modular panels together to create a circle, and it looks amazing. So you can have any shape, any layout. You can have panels so they're disconnected and big vistas across large spaces. So there's all sorts of exciting things you can do with it.
There's obviously lots of different LED screen available out there. What makes the clearView screen the best option for people?
It's been optimised for church. So that's who we're primarily selling the screen to. It's being sold into churches, and we've taken the product and we've looked at what are the key things that churches need, and we've spent the little amount of money on the things they don't need, and we've spent all of the resources on the screen on the things that you do need. Okay. So the key core items, like the absolute top quality best LEDs that'll last you 8-10 years, are there. The top quality driving systems and the best reliable power supplies. So those sort of three core areas are what's in the screen, and that's what makes it special.
Okay.
There's quite a number of other things that make our screen different, and one of the really big key ones is actually the refresh rate of the screen. So all our screens refresh at 3840 Hertz. And that means when you look at it live and in person, it looks fantastic, there's no flicker. But the key part is that when you look at it with a camera, that also looks really good. And that's so important with church, where we have them as a backdrop to the stage.
So once I've got my screen in place, how long would you expect the life to be of the screen?
Well, we've got a test panel actually that we've had running now for over a year. And that simulated typical church use of almost 9 years now, and we've had zero issues with it at all. So we're very comfortable to say 9 years, absolutely no problem. My expectation is 10, 11, 12, we still should be fine. You're definitely looking at a 10-year product. And by the time you compare that to a projector where you might get 3-4 years, the actual cost is very similar.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a big investment for any church. And you've just said there about component pieces lasting 8 to 10 years. But if I've got a budget that grows over time, can I add more pieces to the screen, make it bigger?
Yeah, you can. There's a couple of important things to note though. just like when you buy paint from B&Q or something like that, you can guarantee you when you go to buy the same colour again, they say it's the same, you put it on your wall and you can see there's a difference. It's the same with LEDs. When you buy the screen all in one go, it will be absolutely seamless. If you then come to buy more panels in 2 years' time, they will be very subtly different. Now, there's two really great things that we're offering people to make sure that's not a problem. The first is that we have a calibration facility, and all of our screen has the top spec sender cards so that we can actually calibrate the screens on a pixel by pixel, color by color basis. So normally we can actually match screens even if they're not from the same batch.
Sure.
The other thing that we offer people is a buyback guarantee. So if you've bought a brand new screen from us and you want to upgrade your screen, but you're not able to get a match and we can't get the calibration to work, we will guarantee you that we will buy your screen back and supply you with a whole new screen that is the new size that you want. Right. So there will be a cost for that, because obviously we can't give you full price back. Yeah. But it's a guarantee, and it means that you can go into this without being worried and whether you can upgrade it or not. Just as a side note, we also have a large stock of screen in our hire department. So if you actually thought, I'd love to have an LED screen, but we can't afford to have it all permanently, but we would like it for the special one event in our year, then you can hire one off us, and the guys in the hire department will be very happy to put a quote together for you.
Okay. So do you think, is it possible to fit an LED screen in any building? Is there any way you can't fit one?
We've done so many churches around the UK now, from small 150 people with literally like a 2 metre wide screen that's really cost effective, and it looks fantastic, and it made a huge impact to their stage and their setup, and the way that the church leaders are able to communicate to the congregation, all the way through to giant 20 metre screens, that are filling the whole of a back wall for 6,000 seater auditoriums.
Sure. So if it's lit up and you've got a huge screen, are they expensive to run? In
terms of the running costs, per amount of brightness, per lumen if you like, is exactly the same as projection. Right. The big thing is often when you have the capability to run a really bright screen, it does mean that if you've got bright daylight coming into your room, you can just turn the brightness up. Obviously then that does use a little bit more power, but still we're not talking major amounts. So it's a pretty negligible cost from that perspective.
Okay. So if I've never actually been right in front of a screen before, been able to touch it, feel it, see it, is there somewhere that we can actually have a look at a screen?
Sure. You're always very welcome to our warehouses, and we're happy to set one up for you, and you can have a look anytime you like. Or also, we'd love to give people a demo. We normally do that, and we'll bring a screen to you, no charge, no cost, and have a look yourself.
Okay, that's great. So if I wanted to find out more, what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, feel free to ring us. We've got people on the end of the phone. You can email us, pop in, ask for a demo. There's loads of ways, and we'd love to get in touch with you about it.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks very much for joining us. I hope that's been really helpful, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks very much.